relationships with their clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz.
Hi, I'm State Farm agent Angie Lewis. Come see me and my team for all your insurance and financial needs in the beautiful downtown historic district, 416 East Fort King Street, or call 291-2444.
My name is Bo Briggs. I'm a sixth-generation Ocalan. I practice law with my father at the Briggs Law Firm. Over the years, we've seen many changes to Ocala and many changes in our profession. What has not changed is our commitment to our clients. You will speak with and get to know your attorney. That will never change. A lawyer will personally handle your case, not a paralegal. So if you've been injured in an accident and would appreciate personal attention, you can reach us at 671-4600 or learn more at thebriggslawfirm.com.
Your quality of life is meant to be fully enjoyed each day. The doctors at Ayers Global understand that and strive to provide a quality of life for you that has no equal. Ayers Therapeutic Services combines naturopathic and family medicine to help all your health needs. Diabetic management, hypertension, pain management, and anti-aging are just a few of the services offered by the Ayers family. Call 352-512-0222 today, and Ayers Therapeutic Services will help you begin to understand that better health begins with you.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler delivering an economic speech in Michigan. Hillary Clinton says her opponent's proposals, including what she calls the Trump loophole, will only benefit the wealthy, including the candidate's own companies.
With his own addition of outlandish Trumpian ideas that even Republicans reject.
Clinton proposing the largest jobs program since FDR's New Deal, putting people to work improving infrastructure. In Florida, Donald Trump repeating his claim that Clinton created ISIS.
ISIS will hand her the Most Valuable Player Award. Her only competition is Barack Obama.
A former Mississippi high school cheerleader sentenced to 12 years in prison on a terrorism charge. Jalen Young and her fiancé plan to join ISIS, disguising their trip as a honeymoon. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Psst. Hey, it's me, your car. No, it's not the voice of your car phone or your GPS that gives you driving directions. I'm sorry to interrupt your tunes, but we need to talk. Take a look around. I'm not the new car I used to be. The season's dirt and mud really did a number on my carpet here. And that iced coffee you spilled, that didn't help. And with the rain showers and all, I know it's going to be a real mud bath in here. So do me a favor and get a set of WeatherTech floor liners. Got it? Now, how about a wash and detail? What do you say?
WeatherTech floor liners and cargo liners keep your vehicle's carpet safe from spills and messes. Made of the highest quality materials and laser measured, WeatherTech floor liners are specifically designed for your vehicle. And they're made in America. If it could talk, your vehicle would thank you. Order yours today at WeatherTech.com or call 1-800-CarMats. WeatherTech. Complete protection, completely American made.
Are you in need of custom screen printing, embroidery, or promotional items? Then look no further and come visit the brand new Legacy Team Sales. LTS is conveniently located off 17th Street next to Armstrong Homes in beautiful Ocala. We offer the best prices and highest quality products for your company, team, school, or nonprofit. Whether looking for screen printed shirts, embroidered polos, or travel team uniforms, you'll be sure to find it at Legacy Team Sales. Come visit our new 27,000 square foot facility. Our friendly and knowledgeable sales staff will assist you in every part of your custom purchase. LTS carries the hottest brands in the industry like Under Armour, Russell, Mizuno, Asics, Badger Sports, Gildan, Pacific, Ogio, and many more. At LTS, screen printing embroidery is done in-house and we guarantee customer satisfaction. Stop by, give us a call, or check us out on the web at shoplts.com. Remember the name, LTS.
Hello, gorgeous. Hi, this is Becky at Hello Gorgeous Salon. Let's get rid of those sun damaged ends and faded out color and get into something rich and vibrant. It's time to get that new look started. So call today and set up your appointment at Hello Gorgeous Salon, 351-5358. Hello Gorgeous is a certified Brazilian blowout salon. We can tame those locks, leaving your hair healthy and shiny with a Brazilian smoothing treatment. And whether you're going on a job interview or out on a date, your hands do a lot of talking. Manicures are a must. Hello Gorgeous is a full-service salon, so let us help you make a great first impression. Call us today to set your appointment at Hello Gorgeous. Our number is 352-351-5358. Again, that's 352-351-5358. Hello Gorgeous is conveniently located in the heart of downtown Ocala, right next to the historic Marion Theater. And don't forget, we also do men and children's cuts too.
Hello Gorgeous.
Welcome back to the Voice of Ocala. For those of you who didn't hear it, some of you have enjoyed it on Facebook now, on my Facebook page, Buddy Martin, and I think Tom Schmitz's Facebook page. We have an interview, 4 minutes of the interview with Steve Spurrier, which you can tune in and hear the recording on Facebook Live, which was recorded. So if you missed it, we'll also replay it again next week when we get a chance to put the Southern Picks show together. I'm in the process now of sorting out a trip to Colorado, unfortunately because of the death of a friend, and we were very saddened with the loss of Lorna Kissinger, our good friend, and we're going to go out to be with her husband and our friend Gene Kissinger. So we will not know the schedule yet for next week, but we definitely will have a Southern Pigskin show next week, and you'll be able to hear Mike Bianchi's take on a few things. You'll be able to hear Terry Bradshaw's take, and you'll hear some of the Steve Spurrier interview, among other things. So
that Bradshaw guy, he's starting to show up on all these Southern Pigskins, isn't he?
He is. He's really getting to become a good boy lead. I guess it requires me going out there and being in Hawaii with him to make him be on. So I guess I could just go.
Or Oklahoma for 4 days, 3 days. You know,
I could go to just camp. I could broadcast just from out in. What do you think, Hawaii?
Well, I thought y'all were good. I thought that's what you last week was the first broadcast from the porch in Hawaii.
You'd be okay with that, right?
Not at all.
Oh, okay. All right. They can be that way about it. But Mike Bianchi, by the way, he's got a good column on Tim Tebow while he's playing baseball. I'm just looking at it now. And that column's got what they call legs. It makes you think about why athletes do things. And what is there? And I've been around athletes my entire life. It's kind of like racing. It gets in your blood. And when Tom, as a guy who played football, and you played other sports too, I played some sports. If you played a long time, you kind of get addicted to that adrenaline, that rush you get in sports when something happens. And I think there's nobody with more rush on the way he plays than Tim Tebow. So I think he has missed that adrenaline rush.
I agree 100%. When I quit playing football, I went right into playing softball. I toured around the country playing softball. After that, I went and played poker, all about the competition. You know, I'm an avid golfer now, but I don't just go out to golf just to hit the ball around. I got to have a winner and a loser and, something to competition. It's just once you do it for as long as we've done it, as long as athletes have done it. You started like 5 and 6 years old was when I started. You did too. Baseball, you'd play baseball from sun up to sundown. Then it was football season, basketball season. You get it in your blood, and it's not something you can just turn off.
Yeah, I was talking to Randy Briggs at lunchtime about this, and he read the early galleys of the Steve Spurrier book, and he said the parts where he talks about going to Kiwanis Park and playing ball, just playing basketball, just playing baseball all day. He said that was my life too. Randy said, that's how I grew up, and most of us did grow up that way. We did get organized baseball here. We did have a fantastic recreation department here. I mean, they were really, really good. They had something for us to do all the time. But when organized baseball came along, and Babe Ruth baseball and Little League baseball, as you know, I pitched in the first Little League game ever played in Ocala.
Right.
And so I wanted to play all the time. I wasn't great. I was okay. But the competition, and in a way Steve Spurrier kind of said it earlier, he misses that competition, just being around a team, even though you're not coaching or playing on it, just being a part of a team is a special thing.
That's how I'm able to get through football season, because I miss the camaraderie of team and everything, but I get through it because on Friday nights I'm still around, but I get to be around 2 teams and a bunch of coaches, and I get to do it from the press box area. But before the game, Tom James, you should be at a high school football game before the game. Tom James texts me, Schmitty, game starts in 5 minutes. Where you at? I'm down on the field.
I'm trying to find a helper you can put on.
I'm trying. Coach, you need any help? I might have some high school eligibility left.
I guess it's that way. I'm sure it's that way in racing. Because I can't imagine, I've never driven a race car, but when that thing is humming, you're taking those turns and you're, cutting in that traffic, making those moves, it's got to be a rush for you, Jake. You've been racing for a long time. What's that like?
Oh, you better believe it. And once it's in your blood, man, you can't get it out. And those absolutely cannot get it out.
Those garage rats, people don't realize you can go to a dirt track. Like one of the best times you'll ever see, buddy, and Jake, you know this, Daytona 500 time. The Volusia Motor Speedway is crawling in the pits, this dirt track with just regular concrete walled pits, sometimes are trees where cars are parked, crawling with people who are worth millions and millions of dollars, and they got Snap-on tools in their hands pitching in to help their buddies.
That's exactly right. And you know why? Because they can't get it out of their blood either, and they're going to be there racing. No matter where it is.
You'll see Tony Stewart with wrenches in hand at the Volusia Motor Speedway.
That's right. He owns Eldora.
Yeah, and that's the thing about team sports, and this goes over in business. Sometimes people have never been a part of a business. Like one of the best rushes for me in network television was my first NFL Today show. When I was in the studio, Bradshaw was there working at CBS.
You were behind the camera, though, right?
I wasn't in front of it. I was behind it, and I was prepared, Terry, for the show. We had a nice staff. We had meetings. We'd gone through rehearsals, and now they were counting it down. And the guy was in the studio counting it down like this. And the guy says, "Great show, everybody." And everybody put thumbs up. That was a real rush for me, man.
Everybody's on the same page.
At that moment, it was a togetherness about that. Hey, this is really cool, man. We're all doing this together,
Is that the show where Terry first got put on his feet, or was it Fox that had him stand up?
No, we put him on his feet.
You got him from behind the desk, too?
I got him from behind the desk. I told the producer, he's just not comfortable in that tight space. Let him get up a little bit and show you a couple things and walk around and stretch and handle a football. And he was the first analyst to ever get up behind the desk and walk out and actually do something animated. That's how he started out in the second year, not the first year. But no, that was definitely the show. That was also the show where we had the jib camera, the one that they have with it goes sort of on a, what do you call that thing? They put it on like pull it down, pull it up,
right?
It goes up
it's
and
on
down.
A boom.
And about 2 minutes before air, they were messing around practicing the brand new jib camera, and it fell on Terry's head. And he was actually, wasn't a big hit, but it dinged him. And he actually started his television career in the studio a little bit dizzy. Some might say he's still dizzy, by the way. Boom.
So the first year of NFL Today, the first show, he gets hit in the head with a camera.
He does, the first one, yeah. Yeah. And that was one of the things. But it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. One of the most fun jobs I ever had. And I tell you, those guys, they put in some long hours on television. I don't think Steve would have liked that at very Steve Spurrier would like those long hours on TV either. So, okay, coming up at about 15 minutes, we'll be talking about football and Southern Pigskin tonight with our friends, Mr. Bradshaw. But where's Tom James? He only shows up on Tuesday.
He's above us.
What's this contract call for?
Tuesdays.
Jake, can you speak with our manager about that?
I think I can work something out.
Can you
coming September? I believe it's September 2nd or 3rd, second football game of the season for high school. His contract kicks back in on Fridays.
Oh man, we got to pay him all that money again.
I'll tell you something. Richard Hildebrandt is like chomping at the bits to get in the press box.
Yeah.
And Richard Hildebrandt is ready to go.
I don't know if there's enough room in that press box, all those egos.
Ooh, there's a lot of ego in that press box.
A bunch of them.
The smallest which does not belong to me.
Hey, by the way, that's that Forest North Marion opener?
No, it's Forest North Marion's second game of the season. We open with Westport Forest.
Well, where in
at
Forest?
Westport.
At Westport, okay. Yeah. Okay, I got you.
Open it with Forest Westport, then we go North Marion at Forest.
Is Kevin McDonald going to be on the chain gang? I don't think he is.
The North Marion at Forest game, Kevin McDonald will be on the chain gang.
Well, he's not going to be September the 2nd, I can tell you that.
Well, he's usually on the chain gang in the Forest home game.
He's going to be at a reception for somebody on.
I don't see Kevin bailing on the high school kids.
I got the confirmation today.
I'm gonna have to call somebody and see if we can get that.
Got a fairly significant evening go ahead of him that night.
See if we can
I guess we can go ahead and tell people. I don't want to brag on it, but there is a special private reception for a few people for Coach Spurrier that night.
I didn't get invited to that either.
Yes, you did. You're lying. And by the way, so did Jake. But there's only not that many invitations out there. I have a few friends going to get mad at me, but I don't control all the invitations.
The publisher controls most of the invitations.
A lot of them, and others I won't throw under the bus. Others control it too.
Did we get that? We get that whole situation worked out with the publisher and everything about the book signing?
We'll see. Yeah, but there it'll be worked out.
Okay.
Assurances.
I got assurances from you. That's all I need.
It has to go through corporations. There's just a miscommunications. I mean, who would not want thousands of dollars of free publicity for a book signing? I don't know. Most places I know would.
Oh, wait, hold on. They're not paying me to be there?
Tom, you get paid enough every day around here. You don't do enough to earn that. So.
Here we go with that again, Jake.
So as a matter of fact, Jake asked me, could you give him some of your money to him? He's a starving college student.
Jake is a starving auto racer. You know what Jake needs?
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
You know what Jake needs?
Ramen noodles.
Jake needs somebody who loves cars and car racing to come over and talk to Jake about putting their name on the side of a car. That's what Jake needs.
Really?
That'd be nice. Well,
let's come up with one.
That's what Jake needs.
Yeah.
Hey, ramen noodles is not a bad idea.
Yeah, ramen noodles on the side of the car.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Ramen noodles on one side of the car, Kraft macaroni and cheese on the other side of the car.
That's right. We can't have any brake companies because you're called No Brake Jake, so that rules that out.
Eliminates all that.
Yeah, but that's the racing college kid, No Brake Jake, sponsored by ramen noodles, hot dogs, and Kraft macaroni and cheese.
I love that.
Do they have like an accelerator you get as a sponsor? That'd be the one to get.
Yeah.
There you go.
Acme accelerators, No Brake Jake.
Edelbrock carburetors.
Something like that.
Yeah, there you go.
We're gonna get you and come back and tell everybody the story again how you got that nickname, No Brake Jake.
Sounds
full
like
bore. You know what? And you're still doing it, except you're doing it out of the car right now.
That's right. That's right.
All right, we'll take a break, come back. We'll talk to Jake about that and talk more about. I don't see Angie Lewis. I'm really kind of upset about that, aren't you?
She probably got, that's a busy woman. If she gets caught,
very busy.
Well, here's the thing. She would have, if she could have been here, I bet you what you're going to find out is she was in with a customer and just couldn't get away.
She had a 3 o'clock meeting. She said she'd come after that. And, hey, you think business making money is more important than being here on the radio show? Probably so.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Take a break, come back. More coming to you right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Who doesn't love heading out on the boat with a family, hitting the ATV trails with friends, or blazing new stretches of highway with riding buddies? Your toys are your ticket to outdoor fun. At the McDonald Allstate Agency, we get to know you and help make sure you have all the right coverages. Plus, when you bundle your coverage for your car and your home with your boat, motorcycle, RV, or more, you can save up to 30%. So call the McDonald Allstate Agency today at 622-2333 or stop by one of our 2 Ocala locations at Calla Hills or the Jasmine Square Plaza.
Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Savings vary.
Located next door to Silver Spring State Park and a few minutes from historic downtown Ocala, our award-winning Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites of Silver Springs is a place to stay for a friendly, memorable, and fun experience. Enjoy our fast and free Wi-Fi, complimentary hot breakfast, and free parking. Whether you're in town for work or play, our friendly staff will make you feel right at home. That's the Holiday Inn Express and Suites of Silver Springs, proud sponsor of Friday night Marion County High School football on WOCA, The Source. Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies, Awards, and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies, Awards, and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Hi, this is Brad. I want to take a moment to talk about a serious issue. In the next 5 years, the aviation industry is projected to have a shortage of commercial pilots. Now is the time to start training. Ocala Flying Club has started a scholarship for the youth of Marion County ages 17 to 24. The club will donate up to $4,000 towards a pilot's license. This will help get the student on their way to obtaining their commercial pilot license. If this sounds like something you would be interested in, or if you know someone that would be, please contact Ocala Aviation Services, 861-7484.
Palm Garden of Ocala is helping patients with Parkinson's disease through the Big and Loud program by working to improve function and slow decline. The Big program trains patients to make bigger movements to produce normal movements in everyday activities. And the Loud program works to improve communication by improving the voice and speech functions. Do you know a Parkinson's patient in the hospital who could benefit from the Big and Loud program at Palm Garden? Call 854-6262. That's 854-6262.
You can't put it off any longer. It's time to replace your home's AC system.
The answer is ASolvesItAll.com and an exceptionally efficient AC system. Let the pros at A show you how you can save on energy monthly and give your family added comfort. The great thing is that ASolvesItAll.com is on call 7 to 7, 7 days a week at no extra charge.
For a limited time, mention WOCA and get a special discount.
Call 877-765-4ACE or ASolvesItAll.com.
WWOCA,
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Hi, I'm Fran Darkington. When I need news, I pass the rest and tune to the source. WOCA.
Well, I lied. I said we'd have Angie Lewis, and she couldn't make it in for a good reason, I'm sure. Maybe next week. We always love having Angie because she's so upbeat, so much fun, does so much for our city. So don't forget, Angie Lewis, State Farm Agency. Check them out, 416 East Fort King. And she and Clint are really great members of our community. All right, Jake, this is your time. I want you to succinctly tell the story of how you became No Break Jake, right?
That's right.
No Break Jake, and how that name stuck with you.
Gosh, this story's going further and further back in time. It used to be 3, 4, 5 years ago. Now I think it's 10 now. 10 years ago.
Go-karts.
Yeah. Go-karts.
10 years ago, right?
10 years ago.
You were like 11 or 10 years old?
I was only 8 at the time. Yeah, so 10 years ago, and actually a little bit more than that, going on 11. And my dad and I got into go-kart racing and raced over at the old Fruitland Park Speedway, which is still alive and well. I go over there and get to see some old friends once in a while, but out there racing, and the karts go anywhere from 60 to 70 miles an hour, and I'm out there 8 years old flying around the track and get off track. You're kind of supposed to back the cart down and slow down and work your way back onto the speedway. And I don't know if I was fearless, if I was naive, or a little bit of everything, but when I went off track when I was 8 years old, I just keep the pedal to the metal and keep going. And my dad had some friends with him who were there to watch, and to be honest, I can't even remember who it was, and I feel terrible about that, but one of them said to my dad, "Man, that's No Break Jake," and he got some stickers made up and put it on the side of the go-kart, and it stuck just like that and been with me since.
That's a great nickname. That's great, one of the best I've ever heard.
How'd you come up with the 57?
The 59.
59, excuse me. How'd you come up with 59?
And unfortunately, there's no real story to that. The guy we worked with in Legends Cars actually had that number, and we needed decals for our first race, and he had some leftover 59s. And wouldn't you know, we put the 59 on the car, and it's stuck since then. People knew us by it, and that was it.
Well, see, I thought 57 was the number, and that was because of 57 Heinz, right?
Well, there you go.
That's right.
But let's come up with a backstory on 59. There's got to be
You know how why Babe Ruth wore the number 3, don't you?
No.
He's the third batter in the lineup. That's how they assigned it back then.
Fair enough.
And by the way, I don't know what year your dad was born, but it wasn't 59, was it?
No, close.
Yeah.
Close.
Yeah. We got to make up a good story.
There's probably a good one out there.
Well, 59. All right. Well, I mean, other than being a good luck charm, right?
It is a good luck charm. It is, indeed.
Tom, you like that double nickel. I like that number 12. We all have
I'm
our
a big
favorite
fan
numbers.
of double nickel.
Yeah. And
not in NASCAR, though. Not in NASCAR.
Why?
Huh?
What? What's wrong with NASCAR?
I only like 14 in NASCAR.
You can't do it that way.
That's good, too.
No.
You have to have one number
You
that's
have to have one number.
I do. What's 1 plus 4?
No. You
It's
can't
5
have,
again. See?
See how
that
you
works?
can't have a different number in each sport.
Somebody says, well, how'd you cheer for 20? What do you get when you divide 20 by what?
If you have a jersey, you're going to have 4 numbers on it for crying out loud.
I have 2 numbers that I wore. Baseball.
You can't wear 2.
Yeah, you can. In baseball, you wore 1. In football, you wore 1.
In one sport.
That's why 11.55.
Yeah. I got to talk to you about your marketing, man. That's not good.
11.55.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan wore 45 in baseball and 23 in basketball.
Well, that's Michael Jordan. He can do what he wants to.
Yeah, and you know what happened when he wore the 45 in basketball?
He was terrible.
It wasn't very good.
He was terrible.
So he stuck with 1 number.
Numbers karma. Hey, I want to thank Steve Spurrier for joining us on the program today. Appreciate that. Of course, the doctors, Airs Global earlier.
Dr. Nicola Brown.
Yeah, and
we almost had Angie Lewis.
Almost, and just the idea that we thought we were going to have Angie Lewis, thank you for that, because it's always good.
Brightened up the room, just the fact that we thought
just thinking about it was great. So, Angie, we missed you. Come back.
I'm jealous of Clint Lewis, I'll be honest with you.
Coming up in the next hour, we're going to be talking more football on Southern Pigskin tonight. As we said, Terry Bradshaw from Hawaii.
Talking football? You're talking about Hawaii and the surf and tranquility. Football.
That kind of goes together with football, Tom.
It does make it very tranquil when football's on. It does.
And by the way, I don't care if the Pro Bowl's not there anymore. It doesn't matter.
It's a zen moment when football's on the TV.
Think anybody went to Hawaii to watch the Pro Bowl? I doubt it. Right? All right, we'll take a break. Come back, and Southern Pigskin's next right here on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source. The Voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin would like to thank all of our Countdown to Kickoff sponsors, the Briggs Law Firm, Tri-Eagle Sales, the McDonald Allstate Agency, Griner's Fine Men's Clothing, HDG Hotels, and Gateway Bank. Thank you for your support of Countdown to Kickoff, right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source. College football is almost here.
The following is a message from the Bud Light Party.
The Bud Light Party tackles the issues other candidates won't dare touch, like doors. They push, they pull, they even slide. Why can't doors make up their minds? Is that really who you want in charge of keeping people out of your home? The Bud Light Party has an open door policy, so come on in, America, and enjoy an ice cold Bud Light. This message approved by the Bud Light Party. Raise one to right now. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB, St. Louis, Missouri.
Have you been diagnosed with BPH or an enlarged prostate gland? Are you tired of getting up at night to visit the bathroom? You may be eligible for the Equinox study, a clinical research study of an investigational drug to reduce the number of times you wake up to urinate at night, a condition known as nocturia. To qualify, you must be male, be at least 18 years of age, have been diagnosed with BPH, have been bothered by nocturia for at least 1 year, and meet additional study requirements. Qualified participants will receive all study medication and study-related care from a dedicated team of medical staff at no cost. Health insurance is not required to participate. Again, the Equinox study is for males, ages 18 and older, who are diagnosed with BPH and have been bothered by nocturia for at least 1 year. To find out more and to see if you qualify, please call 1-352-234-8436. That's 1-352-234-8436.
From beautiful townhomes to equestrian estates, Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club provides the perfect haven of elegance for any homeowner. Not to mention our championship golf course, award-winning tennis program, state-of-the-art spa, and new luxury equestrian suite. We offer an array of membership options to suit a variety of lifestyles. Call 352-369-6969 today for more information about our latest real estate offerings.
Keep up with what's going on in the downtown area with Ocala Downtown Newspaper. Delivering thousands of newspapers to businesses in the downtown area, Ocala Downtown is there to keep you informed. They even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about it. It's simple. For more info, just call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223, and pick up your copy of the Downtown Ocala newspaper today.
Now read Ocala Downtown Newspaper online.
Located next door to Silver Spring State Park and a few minutes from historic downtown Ocala, our award-winning Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites of Silver Springs is a place to stay for a friendly, memorable, and fun experience. Enjoy our fast and free Wi-Fi, complimentary hot breakfast, and free parking. Whether you're in town for work or play, our friendly staff will make you feel right at home. That's the Holiday Inn Express and Suites of Silver Springs, proud sponsor of Friday night Marion County High School football on WOCA, The Source.
Yeah, I'm that drip coming down from the corner of the room. But where did I come from? I'll never tell.
Bone Dry Roofing can and will fix it right the first time using quality materials and will deal honestly and fairly with you, period. You can find Bone Dry Roofing on their website, bonedryroofingllc.com, and Facebook at Bone Dry Roofing LLC. Do it right before your roof needs a tarp to keep the elements out. Bone Dry Roofing stands behind their work to help make your home safe and secure. Plus, they have financing available. Remember, if you're not bone dry, then you're all wet.
Hi, I'm Big Daddy Don Garlitz, asking you to support adoption by purchasing a Choose Life license plate from your county tag office. You know it costs a lot to give a child life. Many times a woman is forced to make a bad choice because of financial pressures. Help save the lives of the unborn children by aiding women whom choose life instead of abortion. Take a stand for life. Purchase your Choose Life license plate today. For more information, go to chooselife.org or call 352-624-2854.
Putting the local back into radio. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. WOCA News. Variety. Information. Now. Keep your arms and legs on the inside at all times.
WOCA
AM 1370.
96.3.
96.3
We are The Source, WOCA. Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
This is Southern Pigskin Tonight with host Buddy Martin on the Southern Pigskin Radio Network.
Hello, welcome to Southern Pigskin Tonight. I'm your host, Buddy Martin, coming to you in the centralmost outpost of the Southern Pigskin Radio Network from our WOCA studios here in beautiful Ocala. Joined by my friend, Tom Schmitz, as always. Back from the Pacific, but about to head west to the Rocky Mountains.
What?
Yep.
You haven't even unpacked your bags yet from 2 weeks in Hawaii with Terry Bradshaw.
That's right, Captain Obvious Breath. And a glorious 2 weeks with Terry it was. Private planes, great scenery, great food, great company. I'm rubbing it in. What's not to like?
What about me, pal? I mean, at least get me a macadamia nut. I thought we're all supposed to be on the same team.
Ah, my friend, that is exactly what we are, a team. There's a traveling squad, and there's the backup squad that stays home.
And now you get to fly off to Denver and party with Joe Williams?
Now, I wouldn't put it like that exactly, but we will be doing our show Monday with Joe Williams from Denver, if all goes well, just as we did with Terry Bradshaw at his place on the Kona coast of the Big Island last week, as we'll hear about in the next segment.
Do you and Terry ever actually talk about football?
Well, we do, sort of, and you'll be surprised to hear what he has to say about what it meant to him to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I'm sure it was life-changing.
Like I said, you'll be surprised to hear what Terry says. Also today on the show, we'll be visiting with the Dean of Florida Gator football reporters, Robbie Andrew of the Gainesville Sun, about what's ahead for Jim McElwain and the Florida Gators. Robbie's pretty optimistic.
Here we go. It's about that time of year where Gator fans put on their orange and blue glasses, buddy. They get giddy, start believing they have an inherent right to win the SEC.
Well, that is true. But maybe there's a good reason, as we're going to hear from Robbie. The 10-win season in 2015 ain't exactly chopped liver, Tom. And to round out the show, we'll speak with Franz Beard of FightingGators.com about Tim Tebow's decision to try baseball. Huh? Yeah, can you believe that? And then we'll hear from our resident curmudgeon Joe Williams in Denver about the view of college football from where he sits up on Mile High. Meanwhile, the guys from ESPN Coastal Georgia have their own thoughts about the year ahead. Kevin Thomas, B.J. Bennett, and Matt Osborne can be heard daily on ESPN Coastal Georgia at 3. Guys, we're just 2 weeks away from the kickoff of college football, so what's the story up your way?
Thanks, buddy. Good to be here with you on Southern Pigskin tonight. The countdown is on to that opening weekend of college football, which has some tremendous matchups. Of course, quarterback competitions going on a lot of places, BJ, but specifically, you look at Florida State and Ole Miss, a lot of talk about what are they going to do at quarterback. I know Sean McGuire, people say, well, he was the starter last year. Would he get the start in the big game? But also a great number of people really pushing DeAndre Francois. What kind of issues is Jimbo Fisher looking at, and are you heading into the Ole Miss game maybe unsettled at quarterback?
Well, I think you don't know for sure who your starter is, unlike Ole Miss, who you're playing, obviously, who has a very productive quarterback in Chad Kelly. Whoever takes over there under center, they have a lot of talent around them. So it's not like the quarterback's going to be asked to necessarily throw for 4,500 yards and 40 touchdowns. You have an elite running back in Dalvin Cook. You have a very good veteran offensive line. And defensively, Florida State should be very, very good. I know the Seminoles are really excited about that squad for this fall, but it is interesting because you're playing a very, very good team in week one. That's a neutral site game. It's not in Tallahassee, of course. It's in Orlando. So, Sean McGuire, how do you weigh, Kevin, kind of that veteran experience against the guy who maybe has a higher ceiling in DeAndre Francois? McGuire, at the end of last season, took over for Everett Golson and did an admirable job. He had a very poor performance in the Peach Bowl, but was playing on a very injured ankle, had to have offseason surgery. So I don't know that you should necessarily look at that bowl game performance and say that is what Sean McGuire is. Florida State didn't have a lot of depth at quarterback, so he gutted it out and threw some interceptions as a result. If I had to make a prediction right now, my gut would be Sean McGuire starts, but you see Francois, and maybe you see both guys get in, and maybe Fisher go with the hot hand. But I think before the season is over, you're going to see a lot of DeAndre Francois.
Different situation heading into the opener for Florida State than, say, at Georgia, where Florida State's going into a game against a proven quarterback in Chad Kelly. Georgia going into a big game nonetheless against North Carolina, but on the other side, Mitch Trubisky, a guy that hasn't really played a whole lot there either, and Georgia trying to find their quarterback. A little different there because the other team's not as set as a guy like Ole Miss is bringing in with Kelly.
Yeah, it's interesting when you talk about those two neutral site games because there are some similarities, there are some differences. Florida State, Ole Miss in Orlando, Georgia, North Carolina in Atlanta. And Georgia is playing a good team. Look, North Carolina won 11 games in a row last year. But to your point, though Mitch Trubisky has been groomed to be the starting quarterback to replace Marquise Williams, who had a great career in Chapel Hill, he's not done it yet. So it is a little bit different for Georgia. Some similarities with the Georgia quarterback situation and the Florida State quarterback situation, and that whoever's under center is going to have a great running back. You know, Florida State can turn to Cook, and certainly Georgia can turn to Nick Chubb and ultimately Sony Michel. But quarterbacks always in the spotlight, and at Florida State, whether you're talking about McGuire and Francois, or at Georgia, whether it's Lambert or Ramsey or the true freshman Jacob Eason, week one is always interesting. Do you agree that just because you see a guy in week one doesn't necessarily mean in week 6 or 7 he's going to be the guy?
No, certainly when you have a young freshman that is really catching a lot of attention, and I think you mentioned it earlier there with Florida State, DeAndre Francois. I think even if McGuire starts, perennial kind of thinking is it doesn't matter what McGuire does. At some point, he's going to get bumped out as the starter. Whereas over in Athens,
you don't know.
If Grayson Lambert gets on a roll, you may not see Jacob Eason at all in his true freshman year.
But those quarterbacks who play for teams that have big-time games in week one, and look, that's with all due respect to any opponent in college football today, but when you're playing a high-profile game that has appeal all across the country, the implications in terms of, hey, could you be a college football playoff team, or how's this going to affect you in the national polls, or the momentum for the rest of the season when you have high expectations and you're playing a very good opponent out of the gate? The dynamic's a little bit different. So definitely some fascinating quarterback races, including at Florida State and Georgia, as we get ready for week one, Kevin, right around the corner.
It's coming quickly. We'll send it back to you here, buddy. Always good to be here with you on Southern Pigskin tonight on the Southern Pigskin Radio Network.
Thanks, fellas. Buddy Martin here with the Knights of the Square Table. It's actually a rectangular table. That joke's getting old. We'll leave it at that. Tom James on my left. two-time Eberdar Murrow Award winner, and Tom Schmitz, two-time award winner of the I Like Myself Award. No, I'm just kidding.
That's pretty
I've
prestigious.
won that about 6 times.
Yeah, I think 8 years in a row. So, I'm Buddy
Highly
Martin.
decorated.
Yeah,
Highly like
decorated.
a Christmas tree.
There you go. Today we're going to talk about the transfer rule and particularly the graduate transfer rule, but there's a story out there which I've heard a little bit about. I'm just getting back from Hawaii, so I don't know it all. I've asked Tom Schmitz. Give us a brief update now, what the situation is with the people who want to transfer from Nick Saban's program to Georgia. What's going on there?
All right, Maurice Smith wanted to transfer. He's a graduate transfer, and under NCAA rules mandate that an undergraduate player has to sit out 1 year after transferring to another school. However, because Maurice Smith is a graduate transfer, he is eligible to play immediately. Now, Nick Saban did approve him to transfer to Miami, but Smith wants to play at Georgia, and Saban has said that's a no-go. You're not transferring into the same conference. And Saban actually went and said, we told him, he was asked about Smith's status at the SEC Media Days. He told Smith he'd be a significant contributor to the team this season. If he stayed, we have told him because we support the SEC rule, it would not be in your best interest to have to sit out a year. But he doesn't have to sit out a year. He's a graduate transfer.
Correct. Right. We know this from Urban Meyer was one of the first ones to have a defensive back from Utah come on. He graduated as a junior. Here's my take on this. Let you guys comment. Basically, I'm for saying if a kid wants out of the program, let him go. Let him go. And if he wants to go to another school, let him go. Yeah, you pay for tuition for 2 years. You don't own him. It's not a piece of property. Let him go play somewhere that's happy. Now, I don't think you should let everybody go every single time after 2 years and go if you're a Georgia Bulldog program and you let them go to the Gators. But there's got to be a fair way to do this. Graduate transfers are clear. They can graduate and they can go. Tom, James, or Tom Schmitz?
I don't like that kind of ownership by a coach or a school over a certain player. I mean, and Nick Saban has sort of contradicted himself already because he did allow another player to transfer in the SEC to Missouri, and that was his wide receiver Chris Black, not a graduate student, of course, but so he's not going to let Maurice Smith go and play for his former assistant coach Kirby Smart at Georgia. I don't like the case-by-case basis type of decision making that coaches are, I guess, allowed to have. We need to have a rule. This is the rule, and it's black and white.
And let me clear something up. As a graduate student, he can transfer without sitting out a year. He cannot transfer to any school he wants to. He still has to get the permission of the school he is attending to transfer to the next school. So he can't, even though he can transfer without sitting out, that penalty he doesn't have to face. He does have to get the permission of the school he is at. If his eligibility is not up at that school, he still has to get that school's permission, and Nick Saban's not getting it because Nick Saban says, you're not going to Georgia because you want to go to Georgia. You're going to Georgia because Kirby Smart's there.
Let's see. Nick wants Kirby to do really well, but not that well.
Yeah, so, that's it exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, most transfers are really out of conference. That's when most of them happen.
Or down a division.
And I can understand.
Playing at Florida from Purdue, et cetera.
Sure, I can understand you wanting your kids to not transfer to another team within the conference. I get that.
Coaches can transfer anytime they want and leave kids.
Whole another story.
I know, but they I agree. We do as we say, not as we do, and I got a big problem with that.
Yeah, and that's true. I think you should be able to transfer anytime the coach leaves. Okay, we got 10 seconds apiece. Tim Tebow announces he's going to try another position, MLB. I thought it was middle linebacker. No, it's Major League Baseball. Tim Tebow's a Major League Baseball player. Real quick comment, Tom Schmitz.
He'll never get out of the independent leagues. He needs to go to Minnesota if he wants to play in a great competitive independent league, but he'll never get out of there.
He'll never make it to the majors, but chase your dreams, Timmy Tebow, and if you make it into the pros at whatever level, go crazy and go for it.
Yeah. Brendan Martin sent out a post today on this topic out of the Denver Post. I love this. You realize this means that Tim Tebow can wind up playing for the Colorado Rockies, right? Perfect way to end the Knights of the Square Table, guys. Good to see you. Buddy Martin, we're back next week.
Buddy, once again, let me mention that August is Steve Spurrier Appreciation Month around these parts of Florida, and we're going to celebrate by recognizing Coach Spurrier for all his contributions. The HBC's National Book Tour for his autobiography, Head Ball Coach, that starts in Ocala Friday, September 2nd, 6 p.m. at Barnes & Noble.
That's right, Tom. As a matter of fact, we'll have the head ball coach on the show next week. I think Steve's getting a little buzzed about being back with the Gators. He likes being with the team. He'll even be watching film and helping Coach Mack with a few tips in their opener against Massachusetts on Saturday, September the 3rd.
An opener? By the way, that'll take place on Steve Spurrier Florida Field, won't it?
Can you think about that for a second? Can you imagine setting foot on the field in Statesboro, Tom Schmidt's field?
No.
No, I can't either. Okay, somebody who's not getting ready for football just yet is Terry Bradshaw. Caught up with TB in Hawaii just before we left, and that's next on the Southern Pigskin Radio Network.
Back with more Southern Pigskin tonight in a moment on the Southern Pigskin Radio Network.
Nestled in the heart of horse country, just off I-75 exit 354, the award-winning and newly refreshed Howard Johnson Inn of Ocala invites you to pamper yourself in one of our comfy guest rooms. Enjoy our free and fast Wi-Fi, heated outdoor swimming pool, 24-hour fitness center, and our deluxe continental breakfast. Other on-site amenities include a restaurant, putt-putt golf, and a car wash. Go happy, go Hojo at the Howard Johnson Inn of Ocala, proud sponsor of Friday Night High School football on WOCA, The Source.
Have you been diagnosed with BPH or an enlarged prostate gland? Are you tired of getting up at night to visit the bathroom? You may be eligible for the Equinox study, a clinical research study of an investigational drug to reduce the number of times you wake up to urinate at night, a condition known as nocturia. To qualify, you must be male, be at least 18 years of age, have been diagnosed with BPH, have been bothered by nocturia for at least 1 year, and meet additional study requirements. Qualified participants will receive all study medication and study-related care from a dedicated team of medical staff at no cost. Health insurance is not required to participate. Again, the Equinox study is for males, ages 18 and older, who are diagnosed with BPH and have been bothered by nocturia for at least 1 year. To find out more and to see if you qualify, please call 1-352-234-8436. That's 1-352-234-8436.
There's a car accident in this country every 5 seconds. That's why Allstate thinks it's time for an entirely different kind of car insurance, with features like accident forgiveness and a safe driving bonus. It's called Your Choice Auto, and it's only from Allstate. Are you in good hands?
You deserve better. Sign up for Your Choice Auto from Allstate. Call the McDonald Agency today at 622-2333.
Features are optional and subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Insurance, Northbrook, Illinois. The Voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin would like to thank all of our Countdown to Kickoff sponsors, the Briggs Law Firm, Triangle Sales, the McDonald Allstate Agency, Griner's Fine Men's Clothing, HDG Hotels, and Gateway Bank. Thank you for your support of Countdown to Kickoff. Right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source. College football is almost here.
If you missed the Voice of Ocala recently, you missed Coffee with the Mayor, where Ocala Mayor Kent Gwynn talked about the downtown parking garage.
Parking garages, that'll be up, they told me, the end of this month. But they'll frame it out and have everything, all the pieces of the puzzle put together, so to speak. And then they'll start wiring it, plumbing, and this, that, and the other, putting the elevator in there. But yeah, I mean, things are moving along.
Be sure to listen to the Voice of Ocala weekday afternoons on WOCA, The Source.
Your quality of life is meant to be fully enjoyed each day. The doctors at Ayers Global understand that and strive to provide a quality of life for you that has no equal. Ayers Therapeutic Services combines naturopathic and family medicine to help all your health needs. Diabetic management, hypertension, pain management, and anti-aging are just a few of the services offered by the Ayers family. Call 352-512-0222 today, and Ayers Therapeutic Services will help you begin to understand that better health begins with you.
This is Southern Pigskin Tonight with host Buddy Martin on the Southern Pigskin Radio Network.
Time now for the second and final edition of the Terry Bradshaw Football Show from beautiful Hawaii, overlooking the golf course out here, looking out into the blue Pacific. It's been a terrific time. And Terry, it's time to talk a little bit about the football that's ahead. Now, you won't have to do this for a few weeks yet, right? You'll just sort of cool it for a couple of weeks and arrive on the scene and start talking ball.
All I do is when I'm on vacation like this is go online and just stay up with the latest big moves. I don't care about the little moves, but the latest big news, injuries, things of that nature. And then I'll start reviewing a little bit of the NFC teams going back to last year, just so I kind of update myself.
Keep up. You got some good help there. Guys back in the studio, look out for you.
Yeah, I can call and say, hey, Giants, Philadelphia, and, I need this.
You got people, let's face it.
Yeah. We have a lot of support back at Fox, and they're there just for our phone calls when we need something. They've got that in-depth stuff. But for the most part, I just want to know what's going on and pretty much what happened last year.
I caught you peeking at the screen the other day at lunch. We were sitting there. You looked up there and saw, I forget who's training camp. Cowboys training camp. You sort of rolled your eyes. But you watched for about a minute, so you did watch. Well,
there's nothing on TV that I want to watch. I work out, and I have on TVG, that's Racehorse Channel. And so I watch the races. And
quarter horses?
No, thoroughbreds.
Oh, really?
And so training camp starts, and I remember turning to you and I said, buddy, look at this. They got no pads on. These guys, they do have a helmet on and cleats, and that's kind of the way it is. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's so hard for these coaches to coach their players up and for players to improve, because unless you're having full-blown contact, it's really hard. It does slow you down. So a little surprised by all of that, but primarily just the hype around the training camps and people, speculation.
It's football.
Oh my God.
Anything. Give me some football.
I know. That's there's just not enough football for the
for the appetites of the Americans. They want it all the time.
No, you're right, buddy. You're right.
365. I thought about you over the weekend with the Hall of Fame game and one of your friends being inducted, and also about Latrobe, or as they call it, Logan sometimes, Latrobe, and the special they had on Friday night showed the Steelers coming into Latrobe and the scrimmage against the Bengals, and they talked about what a great setting it was, like a high school setting, and they came in on yellow buses with no air conditioning, and the players were, signing autographs. And what was it like for you in Latrobe?
Oh, man, miserable. Hot, humid, hard ground. Just miserable.
Oklahoma drill's the first day?
Yeah, absolutely. Oklahoma drill, first day, and sometimes even the second day. And then tons of gassers, 1000s, 880s, 660s, 440s for the first couple of weeks, 3 times a week after 2.5-hour practices. Full gear, I might add, and hitting all day long. And then we would go to 5 330s at the end of practice. And that's why, we were in great shape when we broke training camp, but it
hated every bit of
it. I didn't mind it at first, but then it becomes monotonous. But in my rookie year, our training camp lasted almost 2 months because of the strike.
That's right.
And we played 6 preseason games. 6. That was, I played 8 games my senior year in college. That's all I played.
You played
8 games. Yeah, 8 games.
How come only 8?
Well, we were such a powerhouse. We had teams canceling on it.
They feared you, yeah.
8 games, yeah. 8 games.
Well, so anyway, the weekend was, of course, the Hall of Fame game, whatever, Hall of Fame celebrations. And I remember I was there whenever you got inducted. I remember your speech. It was very well done. And then a friend of yours was inducted over the weekend, a couple of friends, but one in particular that you always talked about on Fox and CBS, I guess, was Brett Favre gets in, and deservedly so.
Oh, absolutely. He was. I oftentimes had said that he was the one quarterback that reminded me a little bit of myself, a little bit of a gunslinger. Just that he got to sling his guns a whole lot more than I did.
Yes.
And his approach was similar. But I really enjoyed watching him play. I loved covering him when he was in Green Bay. And he was such an exciting player. And plus he's from the South. I'm a Louisiana boy. He's a Mississippi boy. Yeah. And you know something, buddy? He is the only player, great player, that I remember his very first touchdown pass.
Why?
Don Mikowski, I believe, got hurt.
Yes, he did.
He was the starting quarterback.
That. Yes, that's right.
And
Magic.
Brett had been traded from Atlanta to Green Bay.
Yeah, third-string quarterback of the Falcons.
And he got into Green Bay, and he got into that game. And with that boyish enthusiasm that he had from day one till 20 years later when he retired. And they were playing in Green Bay at Lambeau Field against the Cincinnati Bengals. And Cincinnati went to a cover 2 on a pass play. And Brett should have never thrown the pass to the flanker.
What's a cover 2?
And because the safety is supposed to come over, and that pass is not supposed to work because you get a jam by the corner who runs with the rhythm and then pulls off, turns him loose to the safety. There's a small window there unless you got a bad corner. But he gunned that thing in there and beat the safety over for a touchdown of probably 40-something yards.
Impressive.
And it was very impressive. And I'd never seen anything quite like that. And I've never forgotten the play. And one great player whose very first touchdown pass in this league that I can recall, and it was Brett Favre versus Green Bay versus Cincinnati.
That's pretty good because a lot of people were compared to two of you. You just said both Southern boys and both had guns and you like to throw it around the park. So congratulations to Brett and to all the whole class, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, that's a great class. No greater honor. I would venture, very easily, I could say that if you went around and interviewed every player that's still living that's in the Hall of Fame, not a one of them would tell you that my goal was to be in the Hall of Fame. No. Not one of them would say that.
You don't think about it.
It's not even something that crosses your mind. And to a large extent, it's not even that important.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not as important now. No. Super Bowls trump Hall of Fame because Super Bowls are the team accomplishments, and Hall of Fame is it can be somewhat political. Not everybody, can say they deserve to be in there. So it's to me, the Hall of Fame, while a great honor, wasn't the greatest honor I ever had. It wasn't one that I gave a lot of thought to, nor is it something that I like having it on my resume. But
I remember the day I was with you. You got the phone call. You were throwing the football in your backyard, waiting for that. You were nervous.
Well, you wanted
to get it over with.
Well, so much speculation about it, and
pressure.
I didn't have any doubt that I was going to go in.
Yeah.
Simply because of my amazing talents and how great and brilliant I was.
And your humility.
Humility. I haven't even touched on that.
Very deservedly so. And I remember the day it was a special occasion, but as you say, championships mean more in the long run.
Absolutely.
So you can obviously see that Terry's not exactly putting on his game face just yet.
But there are some game faces around the NFL, even if the Hall of Fame game in Canton was a no-go. Let's talk about the local teams in our area, buddy. Let's take a look at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Their success lies strictly on the shoulders of former UFC standout Blake Bortles, buddy. And on defense, can former Seminole great Jalen Ramsey come in and make a contribution right away? It's all about patience with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And if they succeed, I bet more owners will take notice and realize, hey, this patience and process thing may actually work. The team needs to win at least 9 games and push for a wild card spot. But the way they improved through the draft and the way they've been building for 4 years, I think that's a legitimate goal that they could achieve. So I look for the Jaguars to be in the playoffs this year.
Good questions.
Now let's look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You remember what happened at the end of last season? Out with Lovie Smith and in with Dirk Cutter, who was the former offensive coordinator, and it looks like Jameis Winston's pick to be the head coach. A lot of people say, though, that this was a long time coming, and Jameis may end up with the perfect head coach as well. Look, it's Derek Cutter's ability to understand and manage quarterbacks that have made him a standout in this league, and if he can bring Jameis Winston around, you know, the Bucs could really contend. They had a promising start in 2015.
Could be a big year for Jameis.
The Miami Dolphins also have a new head coach. That's Adam Gase, and this is all about whether Adam Gase can get through to Ndamukong Suh, who has a huge paycheck. And, you know, sometimes when Suh gets that big paycheck, he doesn't want to put in the effort. And Ryan Tannehill. Is Ryan Tannehill really a franchise quarterback? I don't think so, but it looks like the Dolphins think he is. If Ryan Tannehill is the quarterback the Dolphins think, and if Ndamukong Suh will show the bright lights ability that he showed in Detroit, the Dolphins could be a force in the AFC this season. If not, sorry, Finn fans, it'll be the same old Dolphins.
Another year of the same mediocrity.
And then finally, there's my beloved Atlanta Falcons. I'll tell you what this season hinges on. Defense. Can their defense stop anybody? And it looks like that's what Dan Quinn knows as well. He did add all these pieces. Courtney Upshaw, Derek Shelby, and first-round pick Keanu Neal. And what does that tell you? All those guys play defense. Dan Quinn knows the Falcons are going to have to stop the football to win this year. I don't know if they can do it. They could win 11 games, or they could have another 6-game losing streak like they did last year.
Good stuff on these 4 NFL teams. Now back to the great game of college football. Gator fans, listen up. Robbie Andrew is a tried and tested veteran of the press box. His summary of fall camp for Jim McElwain's team is, well, I may not say glowing, but at least guardedly optimistic. Next on the Southern Pigskin Radio Network.
Back with more Southern Pigskin tonight in a moment on the Southern Pigskin Radio Network.
RL here to tell you how to deal with this heat wave. Get on down to Dairy Queen at Silver Springs. They have a blizzard waiting for you to cool off with. What a great treat in many different flavors. Or get one of our juicy char-grilled burgers with the #1 rated milkshake in America. So come on down to Dairy Queen at Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
Hello, I'm Michelle Stone, Republican from Marion County Commission, District 5. I see our county commission bickering over petty issues instead of making the tough decisions and prioritizing our county's needs. I've spent my career analyzing financial statements and budgets to help businesses be more successful. With my fiscal expertise and commitment, I will ask the tough questions and make responsible decisions for Marion County. I'm Michelle Stone, and I ask you to put me to work as your county commissioner.
Political advertisement paid for and approved by Michelle Stone, Republican for Marion County Commission, District 5.
What you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
We're nearly 7% more likely to die on our birthday. For people age 60 and older, that jumps to 14%. Some fans get so close to characters that they mourn when the series or a main character gets the boot. Card readers that can be tinkered with in the dead of night are prime targets for card skimmers. So, never use your card at unmanned pay stations, gas pumps, ATMs, parking meters, or vending machines.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Cookies, 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 cookies. We go cookie eating cookies.
When you want something special and fun for any occasion, get cookies. King Cookie in the Paddock Mall in Ocala will make a delicious, fun-filled delight just for you. So next time you're in the mall, stop by King Cookie or call 352-237-2557. KingCookieOcala.com. Customized cookies, cakes, and more. King Cookie.
Eating cookies. We're so happy eating cookies. Cookies!
On the next AM Ocala Live, Jim George, also known as Professor Gadget, will be talking to us about technology.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events served bite-sized.
And then inspirational speaker William F. Stiles giving us some inspiration.
Ocala Magazine Radio with Kelly Hart.
And then Vanessa Lane Jennings speaking to us about the law on her show, Legal Lane.
Annette Simmons will be speaking about telling 9/11 stories to keep 9/11 alive.
All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live.
This is the beat of a normal heart. Now this is the beat of a heart of someone who just snorted or injected or smoked methamphetamine. Why? For a high. And this is what happens to that normal heartbeat. It's irregular, it's racing, it's why it's called speed, and it can do bizarre things to our heads. It can make us aggressive and violent. We can start hallucinating and end up doing some serious damage to people. Call 1-8888-NO-METH today for more information on methamphetamine. That's 1-8888-NO-METH.
A message from the Partnership for a Drug-Free Florida and America.
WWOCA,
If you want to avoid getting ripped off and put more money in your pocket, then join me, Clark Howard, every weeknight at 6, right here on WOCA, The Source.
This is Southern Pigskin Tonight with host Buddy Martin on the Southern Pigskin Radio Network.
Let's go to the hotline now and talk to the man who covers these Gators, has done for nearly 2 decades, Robbie Andrew of the Gainesville Sun. Robbie, how you doing?
Good, buddy. Welcome back.
Thank you. Good to be back. Good to be back, and good to be back in the mode of college ball. And Robbie, for those of us who haven't had a chance to really be around the practices and the scrimmages and whatever they've had so far, update us on where we are now with McElwain and the progress this team seems to be making or not making so far in the fall camp.
It's real early yet, but I think, based on what they did on the spring and the first couple of days here, I think that, McElwain kind of went out of his way to say the other day that the quarterback battle's not over yet, and I know most people are assuming it's going to be Del Rio, but he's leading that competition open and wants Appleby to keep competing for the job because he's a guy that may have to play at some point in the year, so he wants both those guys to be ready. But, overall, I sense a real calm among the team, no chaos. Or, last year everything was new to everybody. Now everybody's going through it for the second time. They know what they have to do. They know what the program's all about and the way things are going to be done.
I thought it was kind of funny. It seems like McElwain's been keeping a cap on the quarterback situation the whole time. And his first day there, inadvertently, Steve lets out of the bag. Yeah, it looks like Luke Del Rio is the guy. How did that play out there on the field with Coach McElwain?
That really wasn't inside information he was giving out. It was what I think everybody has assumed or thought ever since the spring game and throughout the summer that Del Rio was going to be the guy. So I just think it was something that Spurrier said, and I think Coach Mack was okay with it.
Talk about that relationship for a moment. We know they seem to be pretty tight. I know that one of the things that Coach Spurrier told me is that McElwain doesn't punish his coaches, which I've never heard that phrase before. And he works them hard. They get things done, doesn't punish his coaches, which is why he likes the idea of being, and from all accounts, McElwain says he loves having Spurrier around. Is this going to work?
To me, I think it depends on how long Steve enjoys doing this. I mean, how long is he going to be happy in this role that he's going to have, which is not really well defined at this point. Right now I think he's very happy, and like you said, it's great being part of the team again. And this team, this program, Florida, is his team, and he's back where he belongs. I think he feels good about that, and I know Jerry does too.
Anytime we talked about his future, I kind of sort of assumed he might go into television. But then as it got a little along the way, when I kept asking him about it, he said he wouldn't mind being part of a team. And I thought, what does that mean? A broadcaster or South Carolina? I knew he kind of wanted to go to Florida, but he was waiting for something to happen. So it's good to have him back. One final thought on Spurrier. Have you seen the rendition yet of Steve Spurrier, Florida Field?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen the signage or anything up there yet. I don't know.
Wow, I'm telling you, Robbie.
Put up yet, so.
It's on an invitation. and it is spectacular. It looks so cool. I can't believe it. Really cool. So
he's going to love it, isn't he?
Oh, are you kidding me? Who wouldn't love this? His name is at the top up there in big letters. Yeah, who wouldn't love that? How about Robbie Andrew, Buddy Martinfield in big letters? How about that one, huh?
That'd be kind of cool, huh?
Exactly.
Put it over the hack room somewhere.
Exactly what Robbie calls the press box. Hey, Robbie, promise me we'll do this. We said one year we're going to do this. Our last home game of the year, we're going to wear a tie. Like the old days, okay? We all were going to get together, the old guys, and show the youngins how to act in a press box, and the veterans are going to wear a tie. Don't you think we ought to do this year?
Yeah, but, along with the tie, we might have to bring up a flask of bourbon also.
Right? You can do that.
In the old days, we saw some of that. So.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get to. That was an era before me, to be honest with you. I maybe saw one guy do that one time, a guy from Miami, and it wasn't Ed Pope. But I never saw a lot of that in those days, although the generation before me, they pounded some booze in the press box. But let's all right, let's talk football. Let's talk about Jim McElwain. There's this program, where it's going. I mean, how could you start better than he started last year? And now we have to see how this is going to play out. We don't know. Certainly the quarterback situation is going to be an upgrade. Would you give me that?
Yeah, I'll give you that. And I think that he couldn't run his offense last year. I think now he's got guys that he can groom to do the things he wants to do. So I know he feels a whole lot better about that, and he was very frustrated last year. Even though he didn't show or outwardly talk about it, he was very frustrated and disappointed that he couldn't do the things that they wanted to do once Greer was gone.
And he saw Treon Harris had no vision downfield. And a guy likes to throw the ball deep like McElwain does. When he has an open receiver and his quarterback doesn't see him, drives a coach crazy. And he did a pretty good job of muzzling himself, but he was frustrated, as you said, about having guys open and getting good ball plays and getting no results out of them. Right off the bat.
Buddy, they had some great game plans there late in the year where guys were open and he couldn't find them or couldn't see them. And the great game plan, instead of people talking about that, they're saying, Florida's offense is terrible again, and they can't do anything. Well, they actually had a good game plan, and if you had executed it would, maybe Florida wins those games. Who knows?
All right, so we know the quarterback's only an upgrade on what he finished with. We also know the running back is not a depth. We'll talk about that then in the running back position. Offensive line looks pretty good, maybe a little shallow in terms of depth, but they always are. Wide receivers appear to be better than thought. Is that accurate so far?
I think it is. And, the addition of Dre Massey, the junior college guy who came in and basically worked the whole spring at slot receiver because Brandon Powell was out with the foot thing, and he did some really good things. And now Brandon Powell is back and quicker and faster than ever with his foot's back to where it should be. And those are two guys that can really make some things happen in the middle of the field and create some openings maybe for the guys out wide. But I think they don't have a lot of proven guys there, but they've got a lot of really good young, fast, athletic guys that did good things in the spring. I think they feel good about that. And then you throw in the tight ends, and you've got a chance to have that downfield passing game that he likes. And he kind of helps set up his running game by being able to throw the ball downfield, which sounds very familiar talking about Spurrier here. So
it does. All right, defensively, we know the secondary is one of the best in the country. Linebacker, okay. Defensive Russians. Assess those units for me on defense.
Well, I'll start with the secondary, but I think that even without Hargraves and Cal O'Neill, I think they have a chance to be as good as a year ago. I don't know if they're going to be as deep as they were. They're not going to be able to afford injuries, especially at cornerback where they lack depth. But Quincy Wilson, to me, he could end up being one of the best cornerbacks in the country too. And he's going to get tested because Jalen Tabor, people are going to avoid him, so he's going to get tested like Tabor got tested a year ago. And we know how Tabor stood up. And I think Quincy Wilson has a chance to do the same thing. And then you move to linebacker, and their starters, if they stay healthy, are going to be very good. Jared Davis kind of leading the way there. If Alex Anzalone stays healthy, he's a potential all-star guy. And depth is a little bit of a concern, but Kylan Johnson and David Reese, the true freshmen, those guys have stepped up, and I think we're going to give them a little bit better depth situation there than some people think. And then you look at the defensive line, which I think could be as strong as a secondary in terms
Caleb
of
Brantley.
Productivity. Yeah, Caleb Brantley. I mean, he was a beast at the end of last year, and I think he's getting a little bit better individual coaching now from Rump, and I think that you're going to see just an explosive season out of him if he can stay healthy. And Brian Costini, they've got a lot of guys that have played and proven themselves, and they've got some depth there. And like I said, I think Caleb Brantley could, has a chance to be one of the elite defensive tackles in the country.
Robbie, I detect a little optimism in your voice.
Yeah, well, we haven't played any games yet, buddy. You know how it goes.
It's all good. Coming up, Massachusetts on the 3rd, when they dedicate Steve Spurrier Florida Field, the 2016 Gators under Jim McElwain with an assist from the consultant ambassador Steve Spurrier. It all feels good right now in the world of the Gators, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And, you know, we were talking earlier, too, buddy, that you talked about the offensive line being thin. Well, it got thinner today because Antonio Riles is out for the year with an ACL injury that he sustained on Monday. So, you know, again, to me, that's the big question mark. I think quarterback will be better, but are they going to have time to operate the offense? Because the line is still a question mark to me. And, you know, coming together, having chemistry, having enough depth to get through the year. So, to me, it all depends on what happens up front here in the next few weeks as to how good that offense ultimately will be.
From the conversations you've had with some of the coaches and players and what you've seen, what freshmen whose our names are coming up that we should know about?
Well, the guy's name that keeps coming up is a guy that came in, you know, this summer, Clayton, the defensive end, who was probably their highest rated recruit. And I know that they haven't really done a whole lot in pads yet, but he has been devastating coming off the edge with his quickness and explosive first step. And he's a guy you keep hearing a lot about. And then Tyree Cleveland, the receiver, who was, I guess, rated the number 2 receiver in the country, has done some really good things early, and they feel excited about him. But, you know, overall, a pretty good class. It's going to help them in some key areas, you know, like at receiver, where they signed 5 guys. And I think that those guys are going to play a pivotal role in the passing game moving forward.
And of course, there's the fact that you got other teams that have scholarships too, and
exactly.
and you got to worry about guys like Tennessee and Georgia, and we don't know what to expect out of Georgia, but we think Tennessee is kind of full of themselves right now. What do you think?
Well, I think that, you know, they're going to have to deal with the expectations, but if you remember back to 2009, you were there to witness all that. Florida having to live up to the preseason, having the expectations, it wore that team out emotionally, I think, and having those expectations every week. And, you know, it wasn't a whole lot of fun for the players or coaches, and it ultimately, you know, blew up in the SEC championship game, which, you know, ruined Myers' health there for a while. So they've got to live with all those expectations that are put on them. And they say they've embraced it. Until you start going through it, you don't really know what a grind it is on you mentally more than anything.
Yeah, we'll see about those expectations. They teed up against Alabama and Florida, some of those teams, what happened. So, Robbie, as always, it's a pleasure. Thanks for that good report, and we'll catch you up to you soon and as we get ready to count it down for Gator football starting on September the 3rd. Thanks, Robbie Andrew.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
If you're Tim Tebow and you got a chance to try something new just because you're Tim Tebow, why not do it? We ask Franz Beard of FightingGators.com, and we also get the view from Joe Williams, a mile high up, next on the Southern Pigskin Radio Network.
Back with more Southern Pigskin tonight in a moment on the Southern Pigskin Radio Network.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life, from everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz.
Hi, I'm State Farm agent Angie Lewis. Come see me and my team for all your insurance and financial needs in the beautiful downtown historic district, 416 East Fort King Street, or call 291-2444.
This is Kendall Carpenter with Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club. I want to introduce you to the finest equestrian opportunity available. If you love horses and enjoy Central Florida's mild climate and rich rolling landscape, come explore Golden Ocala. Bridle trails weave their way through this stunningly beautiful community of stately homes. Our state-of-the-art equestrian center will meet all of your equestrian needs with style. Visit us at goldenocala.com.
The phone
following is a message from the Bud Light Party.
The Bud Light Party tackles the issues other candidates won't dare touch, like doors. They push, they pull, they even slide. Why can't doors make up their minds? Is that really who you want in charge of keeping people out of your home? The Bud Light Party has an open door policy, so come on in, America, and enjoy an ice cold Bud Light. This message approved by the Bud Light Party. Raise one to right now. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB, St. Louis, Missouri.
Stay with us and sleep better at the Sleep Inn and Suites of Ocala Bellevue, located next door to Don Garlett's Museum and a few minutes from Florida Horse Park. Our award-winning, newly refreshed Sleep Inn and Suites offers comfy, clean rooms, free fast Wi-Fi, and service with a smile. Start your day with a deluxe hot breakfast and unwind in our heated outdoor pool. Our convenient 24-hour fitness and business centers allow you to stay on track whether you're here to play or to work. That's Sleep Inn and Suites Ocala Bellevue, proud sponsor of Marion County High School football. Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Now back to more Southern Pigskin Tonight with your host, Buddy Martin, on the Southern Pigskin Radio Network.
Crossover athletes aren't brand new. Baseball and football sometimes seem to go together. There was Deion Sanders and Bo Jackson, even Michael Jordan to a lesser extent, and now there is Tim Tebow. Or is there Tim Tebow?
His last time he ever played baseball was the spring of 2005. He was a left fielder for Nice and did some part-time pitching. He had about 4 or 5 decisions that year. Nice made it to the state championship. He was a pretty good hitter. Not great, but pretty good on a very good baseball team.
France, you and I covered Tebow his entire career and saw him play every snap of every game. We will say unabashedly we were Tebow fans. He did some incredible things. We're sitting within 6 feet of him when he made the promise. We know him fairly well. I don't think I can quite equate this to common sense here. What makes Tim Tebow think at age 29 he can become a Major League Baseball player?
Buddy, that's the $64,000 question. Yeah. The greatest hitter of all time, a guy you and I both admire, Ted Williams, once said that hitting a baseball is the single most difficult feat in all of competitive sports. And I have to agree with him, because all you got to do is look at the fact that there hasn't been somebody that's hit 400, which is 40%, since 1941. And it's a grinding game. And at 29 years old, and he hasn't pitched, he hasn't seen live pitching in a game situation in 12 years now. It befuddles me.
Looking at Tim Tebow's skills and sizing him up with a modicum of knowledge, let's say he probably can hit with power. I would just assume that. He's got average speed. He looks like a first baseman, since he can't play anything else but the outfield to me. And what makes him think after that length of time he can get in and hit a baseball, as you said? So I don't give him much of a chance. Now, I admire him for what he's doing. I respect him greatly, but I kind of don't want to see him fail at something else, you know?
Well, during one of our road trips, and we've had a number of those, and the topics have gone all over the place. But if you remember, we were on a road trip, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, to Mississippi State, or it might have been LSU, and we got to talking about Willie Mays at the end of his career. Mm-hmm. There were the New York Mets. And there's an infamous picture of Willie at home plate, called out in a World Series game against the Oakland A's, I believe, in 1970-40. And Willie Mays is literally begging for a call. And you and I both made the comment, 5, 6, 7 years earlier, Willie Mays would have scored standing up. That's how great he was. But unfortunately, the lasting memory of so many of the people is him sitting there begging for a call and people saying, gee, why did everybody think he was so great? And I don't want to see that happen to Tim. I don't want to see what Tim actually did diminished by something he can't do. And it's bad enough that his football career has been that way. But a lot of guys who win Heismans don't make it in the NFL. But this just kind of adds to that.
Thanks, friends. He may be in the Rocky Mountains, but Joe Williams knows his college football. He sees all the way down here in the SEC, which he says is still the power center for the game.
It still starts really with the Southeastern Conference, and people are wondering, if people are buying into that Tennessee hype, because it's getting louder and louder.
I'm with you on that, and I think that maybe there's just a little bit of warning here on this, that look at the past. And I get that feeling what these guys are really not the elite part of the SEC. In fact, I know they're not. And I think now the chips are down, and can they deliver? And I think that's a big question. The talent's there. Let's see if Butch Jones can really get it on the field.
Well, I mean, if you look at what they did last year, I mean, they had Oklahoma on the ropes. I still don't know how they lost that game. I was watching a replay of it the other night, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, how in the world did they lose this game? And of course they played Alabama. I mean, Tennessee had some very, very close calls last year, games that could have gone the other way that would have changed the whole perception of their program. Well, they've got 17 or 18 starters back, plus their quarterback. That's usually enough if you're going to be a serious contender. And I think what you mentioned, the name Butch Jones, I think it all falls on him. And, of course, down there, as we all know, the coaches don't get the same leeway they do up here. You win 8 or 9 games up here, you'd get a lifetime contract. Down there, you win a national championship, and 2 years later, you're liable to get fired, which is exactly what happens in the SEC.
Well, Tom Schmitz and I started thinking about you talking about the Oklahoma game. There was a game in Gainesville last year, Tom, where Tennessee had that game won, Tom, and a miraculous finish there.
Tennessee had that football game won, and Joe, that's what's so great about college football is just a few inches one way or the other could mean the difference between a 10-1 or 10-2 season and an 8-4 season. And an 8-4 season, like you said down here, gets you fired. It's just inches. It's a game of inches. People always say that they don't understand that, but it really is a game of inches, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is, and some people say, "Well, we've all heard this one trotted out before. They just don't know how to close out games. They don't." They don't know how to win. They don't. When it comes time to win, they just don't have quite what it takes. I've always wondered, what in the heck is that margin there? What separates those that do from those that don't? And I don't think all the time it just boils down to coaching. The coaching decisions at certain times in the game. We've all seen Les Miles pull rabbits out of the hat, and we've also heard all the chatter about Les Miles. He's on the hot seat for crying out loud for what he's done, which is all he's done is bring in great players to LSU. But these close games, they do decide things. I mean, you look how close Ole Miss came, and they figured out Alabama 2 years in a row, and now look, they're on their program's literally on the rocks, waiting for the NCAA to drop the hammer on them. You can't keep up with all of it.
Thanks, Joe. Tom, let's cue up the Terry Bradshaw Singers.
Me. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep writing those letters and send them in.
It's time for us to say goodnight.
Don't forget, now you can reach us on Twitter at SPigskinTonight. That's SPigskin, the number 2, NITE. You can check out our videos on our Facebook page, Buddy Martin, the Voice of Ocala, and our podcast on BuddyMartinMedia.com.
And you may catch us on Facebook Live one of these days. Email me, Buddy Martin, at BuddyMartinShow@gmail.com, or reach me on Twitter at Buddy Show.
Hey, Buddy, you know, they can also find us on Instagram at Buddy Martin Media.
We're all over the place, aren't we? I want to thank our guests today, Robbie Andrew, Franz Beard, and Joe Williams. And on behalf of the guys from 3 and Out, plus my broadcast partners, Terry Bradshaw, Tom Schmitz, and Tom James, I'm Buddy Martin. Rocky Mountain High.
Okay, look, enough already. If you keep that up, I'm going to start singing Home, Home on the Range.
No, please don't. Not necessary. We need you right here, fella. Hashtag down here.
This has been a production of Southern Pigskin Tonight in association with Buddy Martin Media, produced from the studios of WOCA Ocala.
This has been Southern Pigskin Tonight with your host, Buddy Martin, on the Southern Pigskin Radio Network.